All right, party people, it is time to talk about the 9 terms board gamers all learn. It doesn't really matter how deep you are in the hobby. You've heard most of this if you've been in the hobby for like a couple months. And if not, you're going to learn a lot of words real quick. I am Caravan Dan from Gaming Caravan, and let's talk about the 9 terms board gamers know. Starting off easy, we got number 9, Shelf of Shame. If you don't know what the Shelf of Shame is a concept of games you have not yet played that you are ashamed of. Now, not every game really goes on the shelf of shame. Some games you just grab and it's like whatever. The games you really want to play, you're really excited about, you backed on Kickstarter, you bought it for like a decent amount of money, just sitting there that has had no use to you, and it's been like embarrassingly long amount of time to talk about. That is a shelf of shame. So, all these games here are the games in the Gaming Caravan library. If you don't know, we do free events in Orlando, Florida, just about every single month. None of these games are on my shelf of shame because I've been all getting used. But some games on my shelf of shame is Uncharted, the board game. I bought it. I was really excited to play it, and I have still yet to play it. That is a shelf of shame game because I've had it for like a year and a half, new and shrink. I was so hyped for it, but I have yet to open it up. That is the shelf of shame. Do me a favor, drop a game that's in your shelf of shame in the comments below. I would love to hear about it. Number 8, we have something called Euro game. A Euro game is a game that has very low amounts of luck, very high amounts of strategy. It might not be necessarily thematic, but it is simply just a very, very skill-based gameplay. Board games, as you know, a lot of people know that board gaming kind of skews in the luck category just for fun replayability and the goofiness and the not serious nature of a lot of them. But Euro games are games that are a high amount of skill. The best player will win just about every single time, as opposed to in other types of games. It could be luck of the draw. It could be like the best player wins 60% of the time. But in Euro games, the best player will win about like every single time. This conveniently leads me to my next point of Ameritrash. Ameritrash is the opposite of a Euro game. If a Euro game is the high amount of strategy, the Ameritrash is the high amount of luck. There are a ton of minis in Ameritrash. There are a ton of dice, and there is a lot of luck. Ameritrash games can be just about anything that you're thinking of that you have a lot of dice with a lot of minis in. We got a lot of video game IP games like Borderlands, we got Dark Souls. If the nature of the game comes down to leaning into the theme and the nature and the story of it, it could be a lot of a high narrative gameplay. That is usually Ameritrash, because if the dice matter more than the skill does, that's been classified under Ameritrash. Now, a lot of these games have been like, subjected, or they've been debated for a while. People are still not 100% sure which games are what, if they even fit into either category, but those are the generic agreements I've heard from a lot of board gamers in space. Number 6, we have filler. Filler games are games that you want to play in between larger games. So if you play one large game and you need something of a break, like there's an awkward space, you're maybe waiting for another table to be done with their game, and you have like 15 minutes left approximately, and you're like, what do we do with these 15 minutes? That is where a Euro game, that is where a filler game comes in. Filler games are very small, light games. We got Flip 7, we got Soda Jerk, we got Moho. Games that don't take longer than 30 minutes typically, because you can just drop it down, teach it in like 5 minutes max, play it, have a full experience without having to cut the game unnecessarily short within a small time frame. Those are filler games. Filler games are pretty fun. I made a filler game myself called Sockpile. Plays like a simultaneous light set collection game. I'm pretty proud of it. I'm happy with it. I would say buy it, but it's not available anymore. It's on Kickstarter, and I'm not making more copies. I just want to plug it real quick. So, number 5, we have the easiest term out there, meeple. People who aren't even board gaming know meeple. It's like knowing what like a D20 is without people playing D&D. Meeples are like the face of board gaming. Meeple is a term that was coined, I believe, by one of the people who played Carcassonne a lot. Carcassonne is a game, if you don't know, it's a tile placement game, very introduction friendly, very like your go-to tile placement game. Now you have a bunch of little guys shaped like humans in those games, and someone coined the term "my people," aka meeple. That's blown up like wildfire, and now some jerks have decided to patent it, even though it's a staple of board gaming and they didn't even create the term. So I hate that, but that's the nature of the beast. Yeah, meeple means my people. Number 4, we have AP. Now, rumor has it, from what I've heard, is that Dice Tower like coined the term AP. It stands for analysis paralysis. This is in a game where someone's taking a while to make a single decision. If you struggle with making one decision in a game, it's been like 5 or 10 minutes. Everyone else's turns are going pretty snappy. And if a predominant amount of your time on your turn is spent thinking, you most likely suffer from AP. It's a fun term. It's a fun little thing that we have and do. It does suck when you play with a whole table full of AP players, and they hate when I talk about it, but I'm not gonna lie. My friends fall in that category sometimes. Not all of them, but a good amount of them. But AP, analysis paralysis, is a very common term that you should definitely know if you're gonna be in this hobby, especially if you're playing something above like Uno. Number 3, we have weight. Now, weight of a game is the difficulty of the game. The scale is 1 to 5. So 1 is like a game that you don't even have to play to play. So games like Candyland, where you flip the top card and you go to where it says, that's not really a game. There's no decisions you have. You just go to it and you do the thing. You can literally just have robots do the same thing or monkeys do the same thing. It's very simple. You don't have to make any choices. That's a 1. A 5 are games like theoretically non-existent, where like they're so difficult, so convoluted, so insane that it is a baffling concept to have even attempted to learn them. Most of the most difficult games that exist fall in the 4.2 range. The hardest game I've played is like a 4.2. I don't really know what it is. I played games like Boom Lake, Money, Galactic Cruise, and a few others, but like those are the higher weighted games. So the heavier the game, the more difficult it is. If someone says, how heavy is it? They're not asking for the poundage, and they will laugh at you if you reply with that. And I know that because everyone laughed at me, and I didn't understand it for like months, and no one really taught it to me. So I'm teaching you. Please know that the weight of the game is a difficulty, not how heavy the game is. I've been burned so much by this. I'm gonna start crying. Oh my gosh. Then number 2, we have orthogonal. Orthogonal, meaning left, right, up, or down. So if you think of a tic-tac-toe grid, right? Hopefully I can put one in here. Maybe I suck. If you have a tic-tac-toe grid, the middle space is orthogonal only to the space above it, the space below it, the space left of it, the space right of it. The corners are called diagonal. Everyone knows the term diagonal because we just do. I truly don't know. Maybe it's because it's chess. Maybe chess, because when you learn in chess, everyone says like, oh, the bishops move diagonally, the rooks move up, down, left, right. They don't just say orthogonally, even though I'm gonna now use that term the rest of my life because most people should know it. Apparently certain types of engineers need to know those terms, but yes, orthogonal is referring to, on a grid, the movement going up, down, left, and right. Up, down, left, right, BA start. Konami. Anyways, so that's orthogonal movement. Last but not least, we have tableau. Now, tableau is not the hardest, most difficult term to know, but tableau meaning you have an array of abilities or effects in the game, usually placed by a large amount of cards in front of you, each with a different effect. So your tableau, tableaus are typically like engine builders of some kinds. We have wondrous creatures, we have wingspan, wormspan, fenspan. Basically, if you add cards in front of you that give you upgraded effect, and like they let you do different things, that's a tableau. I think the hardest tableau I played was Earth. Earth, if you don't know, you end up having like 60 cards in front of you, and they can all trigger different ways, different things. They can all trigger like simultaneous. It's insane. A lot of triggers, A tableau is simply having an array of cards in front of you that do a bunch of different stuff. Sometimes people consider tableaus just having cards played in front of you, and you have a tableau even if they don't affect your abilities, but I disagree with that personally. But tomato, potato. Yeah. So those were the 9 terms that all board gamers learn. If you learned any of the terms, go in the comments below and let me know what terms you learned. If you liked my video, make sure to subscribe. If you liked what you saw, also make sure to drop a like. And I hope to see you in other videos. So peace out, have a great day. God bless, and I hope to see you at the table soon.